And coming to the top of your mat, standing. Just lean over to your left leg and notice what happens on the right. And then lean over to the right leg and then notice what happens on the left. And just continue to sway slightly from side to side. And some people would call this a pattern. If I lean to the left, then the right side gets lighter. And if I lean to the right, then the entire chain of muscles begins to fire up the right side of my body. But there's a predictable pattern at which we can expect for things to move. Some people would call this karma, cause and effect, the thing that's in action. However, being a body worker, maybe physical therapists can relate to this. Sometimes things just simply don't fire the way that they're supposed to. Sometimes sequences or chains of sequences don't actually fire the way that they are intended to, or the way that we think, or the way that we predict that they should. And then we name that a dysfunction. And sometimes that is absolutely right, that it is a dysfunction in the sense of biomechanics, in the sense of muscles firing, in the sense of the chain of command. However, in, I think it's the 1990s, we had Forrest Gump. He had a shirt on that said, "Something happens. S-H blank T happens." We have this unpredictable force in the world. Or in yoga, we talk about it as Lila, the divine play. That there's some things that just simply don't fit into the concepts or the constructs in which we think that it should. And we enter into this play. We can enter into it with resistance, or we can enter into it with surrender. And the choice is 100% up to us. It's 100% up to our mindset. So just begin to sway even larger from side to side, letting your hips move, letting your shoulders move. Some people would call this the hippie dance. That's what I would call it, the little hippie dance. And maybe let your head move from side to side. And there's going to be an organic nature in which your body moves that I possibly would never be able to sequence, copy, articulate, give reason to, give meaning about. However, it's your move. It's your dance. It's your play. It's your unique divine nature. It's your unique signature. And step your feet even wider, and notice that as you step your feet wider, that a different rhythm may start to arise in you. And it's a rhythm that I may never possibly be able to copy, duplicate, replicate, articulate. And it's your signature. And today we're going to work with a series of poses that I may be able to articulate and you may not be able to demonstrate. And that doesn't mean that the system is dysfunctional or that you're dysfunctional. It just simply means that some things don't always go as planned. Sometimes things don't always follow the way that we want it to. Great, now settle yourself into center, stretch your arms overhead, right hand holds left wrist, take an arch over towards the right, through center and reverse and to the left. And continue to open up the side bodies from side to side. From side to side. Now on your next time to the right, step your right foot behind you, just coming to the right toes. Through center and arch over towards the right, and then step your left toes behind you, just directly behind, and back to center. And again, over to the left, and then just step your right foot just slightly back behind you and through center. Arch over to the right and step your left foot slightly behind you. Great. Now on your next inhalation, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to fold in, forward folds. And with your inhalation, slide up to your spinal extension. Exhale to fold in and float your right foot back. Slide your hands back to frame your left leg and move your right leg back far enough your left knee comes to a deep 90-degree. Release your knee to the earth. Inhale your hands to the sky. Right hand to left wrist and arch over towards the right. And left hand, right wrist, arch over to the left. Through center, plant your hands and step your right foot forward, forward folds. Coming into a spinal extension on your inhale, fold in to float back. Now we might say that we are perfectly executing an asana or a sequence. Release your left knee to the ground. Inhale your hands to the sky. Arch over towards the right. Through center and arch over to the left. Through center, plant your hands and step your left foot forward, forward folds. Inhale to your spinal extension. Exhale to fold in and come all the way up to standing. Fingertips reach high and hands journey into heart center. Moving on. Inhale to sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to your forward fold. And inhale up to your spinal extension. Stay in your spinal extension. Hand can be on the knees or hands on your blocks. Reach left fingertips up towards the sky for a gentle spinal twist. And then left hand comes down and reach right fingertips up towards the sky for a spinal twist. Take the right hand down, left hand up, and just starting to look over the left shoulder, left hand down, right hand up, and look over the right shoulder. And we just look for all of the directions that we can play. Looking over the left shoulder and over the right shoulder. Last time to your forward folds and come all the way up to your fingers, come all the way up to standing and hands journey into your heart center. Inhale to stretch your fingertips towards the sky. And on your exhalation, forward fold, Uttanasana. I just had a microphone blip, so that's Lila at play. Inhale up into your spinal extension. Exhale to fold in and float your right foot back. Things not going as planned. Slide your hands back to your left ankle and release your right knee to the earth. Inhale your hands to the sky. Now interlace your fingers behind your back and squeeze your elbows towards each other. Keep squeezing the elbows towards each other and lift the arms radically towards the sky, opening up the heart. Now stomp into your left leg and radically lift your right leg towards your knuckles, lifting the knee off of the ground. And on your exhalation, release your right knee to the earth. Keep the arms lifted. And on your inhalation, really strong, lift the right thigh towards your hands. And exhale, release your knee to the earth. Now one more time, lift the back knee off of the ground, lunge your heart forward, leaning in. Keep lifting your arms and start to just pop up off of your back toes, as if you're actually gonna float forward, which you are. But you're just gonna pop forward just a little bit, letting the back foot come off the ground, arms stay lifted. And on this next exhalation, pop your right foot forward, hands stay bound, forward fold. Inhale to your spinal extension. Exhale, release the hands happily, forward fold. And come all the way up to standing. Fingertips reach high. Hands move into heart center. Second side, inhale, fingertips reach to the sky. Exhale to your forward fold. Spinal extension to lift your heart. Exhale to fold in and float your left side back. A predictable sequence. How do we do with predictability and how do we do with unpredictability? Release your left knee to the earth. Inhale your hands to the sky. And on your exhalation, interlace your fingers behind your back. Squeeze your elbows towards each other. Lift the arms far away from your body, getting a huge posterior chain engaged. Huge back body opening. Bring your awareness to your left leg and powerfully lift your left leg towards your thigh, or excuse me, towards your knuckles. And then release the back knee to the earth. Inhale to lift the left knee, extend the left thigh towards your hands, and release the left knee. Now one more time, lift your left knee off of the ground. Lean your heart forward and keep lifting your arms. Bring your awareness to your back toes and just start to pop. Pop off of your back toes. Lunging towards the right leg, lifting the left leg. And the last time, pop your left foot forward, bound hand, forward fold. Uttanasana, Baddha Hasta, bound hand, forward fold. Release your hands to the earth. Inhale to come all the way up to standing. Fingertips reach high. And hands journey into heart center. And just pause. Hands at heart center, maybe down by your side. And just check in. How do I do with predictability? And how do I do with unpredictability? Do I embrace the twists and the turns of life? Or do I find myself agitated and hating or blaming or resisting? Allow for your heart to open. And we just say, you know what? Stuff happens. There's a divine play of things that we may never understand. Follow an inhalation, sweep your fingertips towards the sky, and on your exhalation, forward fold. Inhale up to your spinal extension. Exhale to fold in and step your right foot to the back edge of your mat. Have your left knee come to a deep 90-degree angle. Release your back knee to the earth. Stay high onto your front fingertips, and on your inhalation, lift your back knee off of the ground, and then lift the right toes and let the toes back down. Let your right knee come back down. Lift your right knee off of the ground and pop off of your toes. Then the toes come back down and the knee comes back down. One more time. Inhale to lift the right knee and pop off of the toes and float for just a moment on your left leg. And then step your right foot forward, forward fold. Spinal extension on your inhalation. And fold in to step your left foot back. Right knee comes to your deep 90-degree. Slide your hands back to frame your front leg. Release your back knee to the earth. Come high onto your fingertips, or your hands are on your blocks. If your hands are on your blocks, make sure that the blocks are on the lowest setting or the medium setting, not the highest, because the highest is unstable. Lift your back knee and pop off of your left toes. Left toes come back down. Left knee comes back down. Lift your back knee and pop off of the toes. The knee comes back down. And one more time, lift the knee, pop off of the toes and float on your right leg, asking for a balance, asking for a suspension in the air. Step your left foot forward, forward fold, and come all the way up to standing. Fingertips reach high, hands rest in your heart. Now on your next inhalation, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Right hand holds left wrist. Step your left foot behind you, directly behind you, and then off to the right. Directly behind you and off to the right. And then arch your body over towards the right. And on your inhalation, stomp into your right foot and swing your left foot forward. Reverse the wrists. Arch over to the left. Step your right foot behind and your right foot to the left and arch over towards the left. Stomp into your left foot and step your right foot forward. Let's play. Move your left foot back and to the right and arch. Pop into your right foot and step your left foot forward. Arch over to the left and step your right foot back. Stomp into your front leg and bring yourself forward. And continue this action from side to side and seeing how much jump or jovialness you can bring to your practice. I'm seeing it. How much spring can you get in your front leg? And how much levitation can you get before the legs come back together? How much buoyancy can you find in the knees? And how much dance of the toes? How many different parts of yourself can you engage in this dance? Beautiful. And on your next inhalation, come back to center. Reach your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to bow in, forward fold. Inhale to your spinal extension. Plant your hands and step your right foot and then your left foot to the back edge of your mat. Knees come to the earth and lower down, modified chaturanga, heart to the earth, head to the earth. I would bring my forehead to the earth, but I need to talk on my microphone, so allow for your head to come to the earth. Wrap your shoulder blades onto your back. Now press into your left leg and float your right leg towards the sky. And then release your right knee to the ground, right foot to the ground. Keep pressing your right foot into the ground and lift your left leg off of the ground. And then release your left leg back to the ground. Push strong into your left leg and lift your right leg off of the ground. Now press the ball of your right foot towards the wall behind you, stretching the leg super, super long out of your pelvis. Release your right leg to the ground. Now lift your left leg. Left knee is straight. Point through the ball of your foot and imagine that that leg is gonna grow, grow, grow to the wall behind you, lengthening through the lower back, and release. One more time. Lift the right leg. And on the exhalation, come down. Inhale to lift the left leg. And come on down. Plant your hands and press back to a downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Bend your right knee and come onto the toes of your right foot. This is going to sound a little curious, just trust me. The right knee is kind of dropped in towards the center of your mat. And then take your right knee towards the left, turning the knee in. And then step your right foot to the outside of your mat. So your right leg is stretched underneath your body. The legs are straight. Right leg is straight across the left. Left leg is straight back behind you. And then bring both of your legs back to the ground. Excuse me, downward facing dog. And then bend your left knee. Come to your left toes. Left knee is kind of dangling at the center of your mat, like a really ripe orange. I'm totally obsessed with oranges right now. Left knee is just kind of dangling in the center of your mat. Take the left knee across your body and extend your left leg straight all the way to the right side of your mat. Yeah, so both legs are straight. One leg is across your body and the other leg is behind you. Super awkward. Awesome. Come back to your downward facing dog, knees to the ground, round your spine, look down into your organs. Inhale into your gentle back bend and exhale to press back to a child's pose. Buttocks to heels, forehead to mat. And Lisa, I can't see you, so I can't give you any feedback about what you're doing there, so. Perfect. Now walk your hands over to the left side of your mat and physically pick your belly up and place it on top of your left thigh. Walk your hands over to the left side of your mat, physically pick your belly up and move it over your left thigh. So you're gonna get like a little belly compression and a spinal twist. We're asking our body to move in unique ways. A lot of the times we want to move in the same exact way every single day. And we can miss the gloriousness of all of these different angles. Walk yourself back to center and your hands to the right. And physically pick your belly up. If you have to, reach your hand underneath and pull the flesh of your belly all the way to the right and get your belly to lay over your right thigh. And we're doing a compression of the organs. Doing a compression of the organs and asking our breath to move deep, deep, deep into the back body. Asking for our shoulders to unwind from the pelvis all the way up. Brilliant. Now come back to center and press back to your downward facing dog. And on your inhalation, extend your right leg back behind you, lifting the right leg high. And on your exhalation, take right knee to left elbow across the body. Inhale to extend the right leg back behind you. And one more time, right knee to left elbow. Inhale to extend. Feet come to the ground. Extend your left leg. Left knee comes to the opposite elbow. Inhale to extend. And one more time, left knee to the opposite elbow and extend. Beautiful. Now step your right foot forward, hand between your hands. Left knee comes to the earth. Inhale your hands to heart center. And on your exhalation, twist. Bring left elbow to the outside of right knee. Physically, reach underneath and pull your belly flesh over your thigh. And take a couple rounds of breath here. Asking for the tissue all the way down at the sacrum to unwind in playful, magical, unexpected ways. Keep this twist, and on your inhalation, lift your left knee off of the ground. Bring your awareness to your back toes and start to just kind of flex those toes and start to kind of pump through those toes, starting to feel the weight into your right foot. We're not going to get there yet. Plant your hands. Step your left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale to your spinal extension. Exhale to fold in and float your left foot back. Release your left knee to the earth and inhale your hands to the heart. And on your next exhalation, oh, sorry, I got you guys on the same leg, didn't I? Let's switch it out. Let's go right leg back, left leg forward. Okay, hands to your heart. So left leg should be forward and right leg should be back. Sorry about that. We can't do the same side twice, so we're gonna walk around in circles. However, that would be fun. It'd be like, is it FedEx trucks? They only take left-hand turns. On your exhalation, twist to the left. Right elbow to the outside of your knee. Now, if you need to, reach underneath and pick up your belly flesh and pull it all over to the left side. And allow for the belly to move deeply towards the left, drawing your breath deep into your back. allowing for the tissue to unwind from the pelvis all the way up to your shoulders, for your breath to expand into your back. Lift your back knee off of the ground. Keep the twist. And then just start to play on those back toes. Pump, pump through the back leg. Coming onto the toes, starting to feel the weight. The back knee is off of the ground. Feeling the weight onto the left leg. And we're not gonna do it yet, but plant your hands and step your right foot forward, forward fold. We'll be levitating in no time, friends. Inhale to your spinal extension. Exhale to fold in, come all the way up to standing. Fingertips reach high, hands journey into heart center. Now shift your weight over to your left leg and extend your right leg straight out behind you, coming to your right toes. The right toes are on the mat behind you. Both legs are straight. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Squeeze your elbows towards each other. Tone through your belly. Lift your arms. Keep the right leg behind you. Left leg is strong. Keep toning through the belly. Lifting the arms. Now friends, your left leg, your standing leg. Bend your left leg as if your left leg is coming into a chair. And then start to lift the right toes. Just lifting them. Left knee is bent. We're just feeling, what does that feel like? What's the stability of the left leg, the open heart, and the back leg just playing. And then pop your right foot forward, release the hands. Reach your fingertips towards the sky, and on your exhalation, fold and forward fold. Spinal extension on your inhalation. Forward fold, come all the way up to standing, fingertips reach high. Hands journey into heart center. Second side, interlace your fingers behind your back. Shift your weight over to your right leg and step your left foot behind you. Both legs are straight, so just letting the toes touch the ground. Right foot is fully planted, left tippy toes are on the ground. And extend the arms behind you. Breathe into the center of your chest. Engage into your back. Standing leg, the right leg. Bend your right knee as if you're gonna sit into a chair just on the right leg. Keep the heart lifted and then just start to bounce on your left toes. Right knee is bent and just lifting the left toes. It's a lot of work for this hip, huh? A lot of stability. And then step your left foot forward, release your hands. Inhale to stretch your fingertips towards the sky, and on your exhalation, forward fold. Inhale up just halfway, forward fold, exhalation, come all the way up to standing. Fingertips reach high, and hands journey into heart center. Choice is yours. Stay here in this standing Tadasana mountain pose, or take a cat-cow undulation, a forward fold, or your version of a vinyasa. So stay here in mountain pose, forward folds, cat-cow undulations, or your version of a vinyasa. Vinyasa just simply means sequence. And I love it. I'm looking at the screen and every person is doing something different. The play of life. We've done this entire series so far, and each one of your bodies is calling for something different. There is no one effect for what we have done. However, we all will meet up in downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, step your hands slightly short towards your hands. So, excuse me, step your feet slightly short towards your hands. So making it a short dog versus a longer dog. Now bend your knees generously, as if the knees are almost gonna touch the ground, just maybe a block's distance away. Extend your right leg straight and lift the leg just as high as your hips. So left knee is super bent, right leg is extended straight, and then point your right toes radically towards the wall behind you. You should feel a pretty deep shake. Left knee is bent, right leg is lifted. Release your right toes to the ground, bend both of your knees, and extend your left leg straight. And bring your left leg just as high as your hip. It doesn't have to be up towards the ceiling, just as high as the hip. Right knee is bent, left leg is straight. Beautiful. Release both hands and knees to the ground. Round your spine, look down into your heart. Inhale into your back bend and press back to a child's pose. Inhale, rise to your tabletop, hands and knees. Extend your left leg out behind you and bring your left toes to the mat. Right knee is bent. Now, right knee is on the ground. Bend your right knee more and lift your right toes off of the mat. I know, it's kind of weird, huh? Bend your right knee more and lift your right toes off of the mat. Keep the right toes lifted and lift your left leg. What the heck? Greta may know where we're going. She might have seen the Instagram post. Okay, point through the toes of your left leg. Keep the right knee bent. I know it's a lot of work. Release both knees to the ground. Extend your right leg straight. Bring your right toes to the mat. Left knee, the one that's on the ground. Bend your left knee and lift your left toes off of the ground. Left knee, left toes. Isabel, you're looking great. Now lift your right leg off of the ground and point through the ball of your right foot. Keep the left knee bent. Left knee is bent, right leg is straight. Beautiful. Release both knees to the ground and step your feet back to plank pose. Step both of your feet back to plank pose. Let your knees come to the earth. Long plank pose. Lower just your heart. Keep the butt lifted. Plop just your heart onto the ground. Alrighty, ladies. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to kind of wiggle around a little bit and move the tissue of your chest so your breastbone starts to come towards the ground. Butt is lifted. Lift your hands off of the ground. Oh my gosh. Maybe even interlace fingers behind your back. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. Yes, your butt is still lifted. Squeeze the shoulders towards each other. Lift the arms and imagine your heart reaching down into the earth and your arms lifting up towards the heavens. Heart pressing, arms lifting, and happily release down and pause. Forehead to the earth, heart to the earth, and belly to the earth. Alrighty. Point your toes. Squeeze your legs towards each other. Now press really firm into your left leg. Bend your left knee. Bend your left knee. And push your left thigh into the earth. And as you push your left thigh into the earth, lift your right leg towards the sky. Right leg is super, super strong. Now point through the ball of your right foot and imagine that the right leg is gonna drive directly to the wall behind you. And then release both legs. Bend your right knee. And the sole of your foot just shines towards the sky. Push your right knee into the ground. And notice that as you push your right knee into the ground, that the hips start to lift. Keep pushing the right knee and then lift the left leg off of the ground. And then stretch, stretch, stretch the ball of your left foot to the wall behind you. Beautiful. Go ahead and release. Plant your hands, press back to cat-cow undulations or child's pose. Maybe hip circles. I'm asking a lot. As if you didn't know. I'm just validating your panting breath. I did this practice earlier today. It's a big one. Alrighty, friends. So I just want you to come and take a look at the screen. I'm just going to give you a quick demo of where we could possibly go. We've already done the work, so you can absolutely stay right where you were at. So that last version is totally legit, as if your pounding heart didn't already validate that. We're gonna put all of these pieces together, maybe. Alrighty. Lots of back body work. Head's gonna have to move back, shoulder's gonna have to move back. And maybe the hands come and interlace. I didn't get this earlier today, but you might. The hands can stay up here, the hands can stay right here. So that's the upper body work. The lower body work. Bend one knee, and you have to push that leg into the ground, and as you do, it starts to lift the hips. Press into the knee and lift the left leg, and the foot comes to the top of the thigh. You may stay here, the hands on the ground. You might come to fingertips. You might start to lift the arms. Ooh. Maybe. Maybe you interlace fingers behind your back. It depends on many factors. Okay, so the tenderness of your chest, the openness of your shoulders, the openness of your front thigh, the ability to lift your back leg. There's so many factors at play here. So we're gonna break it down. We did exactly what we did this last pose. We can stay here. If you wanna move on, we can move on. So come onto your belly. You get to choose your version. So we'll start with the upper body work. Lift your head, lift your shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Low cobra pose, totally legit. Can come onto fingertips, or you can interlace fingers behind your back. Okay, so a version of Shalabhasana. Head back, shoulders back, arms interlaced or hands interlaced. Great, so that's the upper body work. So we've got hands flat, fingertips, or hands bound. Lower body. Lift your right leg, keep the left leg straight. Okay, release your right leg to the ground. Lift your left leg, keep the right leg straight. Great. So lower body, that's an option. Bend your right knee, lift your left leg. Great, and come back down. Bend your left knee and lift your right leg. Great, come back down. So you get to do any version. All of us will do a version of the right leg lifted at the same time. You may lift your hands off of the ground. You may interlace your fingers, and you may bring your leg and your foot together. Who knows what you're gonna do? I'm super excited to see. Here we go. Lift your right leg. Lift your head, lift your shoulders. Maybe you bend your left knee, and you bring the sole of your foot to your right thigh. And it's at the thigh versus at the shin. Head back, shoulders back. Maybe you come onto fingertips. Maybe you even lift fingertips. And maybe You even interlace fingers. Yeah, this is insane. Shalavasana, hallelujah, come on down. Woo. Let's do the second side. Lift your head, lift your shoulders. Bend your right knee, lift your left leg. Totally legit. You may bring your foot to the top of your left thigh. Maybe you come onto your fingertips. Maybe you interlace your fingers behind your back. And we just play. And lower yourself down. Strong work, friends. Please and happily plant your hands and make your way to your tabletop, hands and knees. Round your spine. You did a lot of work today. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale to round your spine. Inhale into your back bend, just linking breath with movement. And one more time, round your spine. Swing your feet off to one side and make your way onto your back. Make your way onto your back, bend your knees and pull your legs towards your body. So the thighs are next to the belly. Open the arms out to the side and try to keep the legs as close to your belly as possible and take the knees to the right. If your left shoulder comes off of the ground, just bring your left arm down by your side or even your left hand on top of your body. So looking for a middle back stretch. So the greater that the legs are towards your torso, the more of the middle back is going to get stretched. If the legs are away from the torso, it's going to end up pulling on the lower back. Right hand, give it a little wave so you know which one your right hand is. And your left foot, give your left foot a little wave. So opposite hand and foot. And maybe your hand comes to the sole of your foot and you start to extend your leg up towards your head and towards the ceiling. Lisa, you look great there. Yeah. So thinking about the possibility of your knee coming to your forehead one day. So it's a big diagonal. Big diagonal. So it's not about trying to get the legs straight. We're looking for the twists and the turns, the ups and the downs, the backs and the forths, the curves that make life fun, the curves that make art fun, the curves that makes driving fun. Lila, the play. And gather yourself back up to center and get the knees as far up to your body as possible, up towards your torso. And then take the knees to the left. And think about your knees being closer to your chest line or to your armpits than the knees being down by your pelvis. If the knees are down by your pelvis, that's going to end up getting you a lower back stretch, which the lower back actually isn't supposed to twist. It's actually the center back that's supposed to turn. So if we're trying to make the lower back turn, we can actually cause injuries to that lower back. So pull the knees up towards your pelvis. And then left hand, right foot, opposite hand and foot. And start to extend your foot towards the height of your head. So instead of being the height of your pelvis, see if you can get the knee up, up, up towards your armpit. So we're getting a long diagonal stretch. getting into all the twists and turns. Lila, the divine play, the divine drama, where consciousness, molecules continue to reassemble themselves into every form, every substance, every texture. Gather yourself back to center, and the choice is yours. Gather yourself into a tight ball, like a little seed, ready for some springtime planting. Or maybe the hands come to the soles of your feet for happy baby. Or maybe you bring your feet flat to the ground, wide as your mat, and knees fall into each other for constructive resting pose. A symmetrical pose at the end of practice. And push your head into the earth. And push your shoulders into the earth. Head back and shoulders back. Inviting all of this work to settle into new proprioception, new ways of moving. Unexpected strengths. And release all of your effort into Shavasana, final relaxation pose. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Vakratunda, the one whose trunk twists and turns. The twisting and the turning, the curves of life lead us to a million splendors. The greatness of the sun, the greatness of the divine. Salutations to this brilliance. Begin to move your fingers and toes. And slowly making your way to your right side. And slowly press your way up to a comfortable seat. And left hand and right hand come together. And take your gaze down at your hands and just simply take in all of the lines, all of the ways that your body turns and folds, all of the ways that your hands take different shape. Bow to this greatness. Thank you so much for taking time out and creating some play and some wellness in your life today. Have a wonderful evening. Namaste.